Why would they do that?
That's just this is what I'm seeing right here.
I don't believe you.
I just don't see.
What you've seen and what you can prove is two different stories.
And they just think I'm a call. It's not as old as this date says it is.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you tell me, but I know you're full of.
What did you want to do with it?
I want to get rid of it.
And how much were you looking to get out of it?
Couple thousand.
Okay. I would really, really like to give you like $2,000 for it, but I'll give you $15,000 for it.
Oh my God, you gotta be me.
No, I'm not.
Get ready for an out-of-this-world start. At the beginning of the episode, the customer enters the pawn shop aiming to sell an autographed picture of the Gemini launch. Featuring signatures from famous astronauts like Buzz Aldrin, the item is brought in with the hope of fetching over $1,000 due to its historic significance and collection of astronaut signatures, hinting at its rarity and value. If you think that's cool, just wait till you see what's up next.
Space program, got a whole bunch of autographs from a lot of the astronauts. Buzz Aldrin's on it right here.
You got Buzz Lightyear on there?
Coming to the pawn shop today to try and sell my autographed picture of the Gemini launch. I want to sell it today because I feel like it could be on display someplace where somebody might enjoy it. I'm looking to get more than $1,000, maybe two, I don't know.
Can you believe the gems these guys find? The shop's historical expert elaborates on the significance of the Gemini space program in the 1960s, which was crucial for developing technologies for the Apollo missions. The autographed picture is revealed to contain signatures from numerous astronauts, underscoring its potential value and unique historical relevance as a collector's item. But hold on, the next part is even more jaw-dropping.
Tell you what, let me call a buddy of mine down. He's with Authentic Autographs Unlimited, and he'll be able to tell us about all these guys.
Absolutely.
All right, man, let me give him a call.
Okay, feel great about an expert coming in to check out the picture, find out exactly the history, and find out the worth of the item.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Drew with Authentic Autographs Unlimited. I'm a forensic document examiner. Is this that Gemini piece we're talking about?
Yes, it is.
Strap in. It's time for some serious authenticity sleuthing. To verify the authenticity of the signatures on the Gemini launch photo, an expert from Authentic Autographs Unlimited is called in. The expert emphasizes the importance of Neil Armstrong's signature, if authentic, which significantly increases the item's value and historical worth. The next clip is a real game changer, so stick around.
Now this is really important because we have Edward White up the top and Gus Grissom. Those were Apollo 1 astronauts, and they were the ones who were killed in the fire.
Gus Grissom was the second American to go into space, so I can't imagine there'd be too many items signed by both Grissom and Ed White out there. Their lives were tragically cut short when Apollo 1 had a fire during the test mission.
Here comes the truth bomb. The authenticity of the astronaut signatures, including those of Apollo 1 astronauts who tragically died, is confirmed. The expert points out that the signatures are not from an autopen due to their unique pressure and strokes, further establishing the rarity and potential value of the item. Brace yourself, the haggling is about to get intense.
So what were you looking to do with it, man? You want to sell it, pawn it?
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and sell it. I mean, you said $4,000 or $5,000.
You know, $4,000 or $5,000, that's a real high number in a real high-end location. I'd like to offer you somewhere around $1,500 for it.
What do you say about $3,000?
I'll bump it up to $2,000 if it helps you out, man.
$2,500?
Watch the sparks fly during this negotiation. As negotiations ensue, the customer initially hopes to sell the autographed Gemini photo for a high price based on its appraised value, but the pawn shop owner, considering the shop's margins and market, offers a lower price. They settle on $2,000 after a series of counteroffers, illustrating the bargaining aspect of pawn shop transactions. Next up, we're taking things to a celestial level.
What we got here?
I'm bringing the Word of God to Sin City in the form of a lunar Bible.
So you're saying you have one of the microfiche Bibles that went to the moon?
I do. It's something I think you'll find was out of this world, but now it's back in this world.
This Bible, which is a book, but it's microfiche. It's sort of weird.
I'm coming to the shop today to sell a lunar Bible. It's 1,245 pages.
Talk about a divine artifact. A new customer brings in a lunar Bible, a microfiche version of the Bible that traveled to space, hoping to sell it for public display. This unique item's history is tied to the Apollo Prayer League and has significant religious and historical value if authenticated. You won't believe what the expert has to say about this next.
So how much do you want for this?
Well, noting what they've been selling for in the last 3 or 4 years, I'm asking $70,000.
Whoa.
One sold in May of 2014 for $75,000.
I mean, do you have any, like, paperwork or?
I have an Apollo Prayer League newsletter, and inside you will find photos of Mitchell returning it to John Stout.
Now, let's see what the expert verdict brings. An expert is called to verify the Lunar Bible's authenticity and value, given its potential high worth and rarity. The expert scrutinizes the item's details, such as serial numbers and trimming, which are crucial for confirming its space travel history and assessing its true market value. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion to this celestial saga is up next.
What do we have here?
A piece of heat shield off the Apollo 11 space capsule.
Oh, you need some help with that, buddy?
Yeah.
That's seriously cool.
Yeah. We decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell our piece of the Apollo 11 space capsule.
Buckle up for a piece of history. Towards the end of the episode, a young boy and his family bring a piece of the Apollo 11 heat shield, hoping to sell it for at least $500,000. This item is linked to one of the most famous space missions, adding immense potential value and interest. The final evaluation is just around the corner, and it's sure to be a shocker.
However, I do believe that it's off something within the Apollo program, probably one of the test rockets. I think you've got a really wonderful piece.
Well, thanks, Mark.
Very good to meet you. Thank you for bringing it in. Even though, no, it's not off the command module, no, it's not off Apollo 11, it's still out of that program, so he ought to be proud that he's got it.
You won't want to miss this final assessment. An expert analyzes the heat shield to determine if it is indeed from the Apollo 11 mission. It is revealed that the piece likely came from a test rocket rather than the actual command module, adjusting its historical value and the family's expectations regarding the sale. That wraps up an episode full of high stakes and historic reveals. Thanks for hanging with us.
Still extremely cool, and I still love it.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks a lot.
I was a little disappointed when he didn't make me an offer, but maybe I'll just keep it.
Brace yourselves for this one. A seller walks in with a rare 3-trigger Stevens shotgun, hoping for a whopping $100,000 valuation. The third trigger, which is quite the novelty, opens the breech rather than the usual side lever. The owner has been carting it around during his travels, underlining its quirky history and potential high value. If you thought this was wild, just you wait, it gets wilder.
What do we got here? I got an old Stevens shotgun, 3 triggers. It's been in the family for about 60 years. I travel around the country with my line of work, and I've been toting the shotgun around for the last 15 years.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an insurance adjuster.
Sounds like you should have a briefcase, not a shotgun.
I came to the pawn shop today to see what kind of money I can get out of my rare 3-trigger 12-gauge shotgun.
Now this will make your eyebrows hit your hairline. Rick, intrigued by the shotgun, raises his eyebrows at the ambitious asking price. He notes its Damascus steel barrel, an elaborate and costly process from its time, signaling top-notch quality and rarity. However, Rick insists on expert advice due to the piece's unique features and the hefty price tag dangling from it. Buckle up, the expert's take is up next, and it's a doozy.
What you have here is you got a barrel that's made out of Damascus steel. I mean, Damascus steel comes from Damascus, Syria, and there's a few things with the steel there that just made it better. You can see kind of like the wavy lines in the barrel. Pretty much what they would do is they would take wire, wrap it around a solid piece of steel, and heat it up and hammer it till it became one solid piece of steel.
Watch how the plot thickens here. A firearms expert comes in to scrutinize the shotgun and details its features, including the fancy engraving and the unusual 3-trigger setup, probably custom made for someone with a fat wallet back in the day. Despite its flashy features, the expert deems it in only fair condition due to visible wear and repairs, which might just put a dent in its value. You'll want to stick around for the next part. It's a real eye-opener.
It doesn't matter, sir. You know, in the gun trade, it has to be in really, really mint condition. I think there's a misconception out there that rarity is always worth money. Most of the time, it needs to be old and in excellent condition.
I just don't know what it's worth.
That's to be expected. It's unusual. Most people wouldn't know what it's worth. This gun in the condition that it's in now would be worth.
And just when you thought you'd seen it all, another seller shows up with a model 1894 Marlin rifle, decked out to the nines and in immaculate condition. The seller shares a lengthy tale of how this beauty came into his possession, emphasizing its exceptional craftsmanship, including gold and platinum inlays. Clearly, it's the Cadillac of rifles. Up next, something equally impressive. Don't touch that dial.
Oh boy, money sounds nice. I think I'll do it.
Okay, we got a deal, man.
I'll meet you right up front. We'll write this up in just a bit work.
I think we could have done better. Definitely gonna miss this firearm. You don't come across these guns too often. We'll put the money into another nice gun. He definitely got a good deal.
Get ready for a blast from the past that's too good to be true. A gargantuan collection of celebrity-signed postcards from the 40s and 50s hits the counter, boasting autographs from the likes of Babe Ruth and Marilyn Monroe. Rick, unsure of the collection's legitimacy and worth, brings in an autograph guru who is blown away by the authenticity and rarity of the collection, with some signatures being downright rarities. The next revelation is just around the corner, and it's sure to dazzle.
This is about one of the strangest guys you're ever going to come across and one of the best actors of all time. You know, back in his later years, I mean, I'm talking like 80s, 90s, if you were lucky enough to approach this guy in the street and even ask for his autograph, he used to give you a set of trivia questions you have to answer. And if you answered one wrong, didn't matter, you wouldn't get his autograph. But if you got all 5 right, he'd sign for you. But with Marlon Brando, when he signed, especially later in life, it was like instant gold. I'm seeing some great names in here. Susan Hayward.
Next up, let's sweeten the pot, shall we? A seller tries his luck with a collection of vintage Pez dispensers, sans candy, aiming for $2,500. Despite their nostalgic charm and supposed collector's value, Rick's counteroffer reflects a hard-nosed take on the current market and the tough resell battle ahead. But hold tight, there's more quirky treasure hunting coming your way.
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of these are my doubles.
Okay.
And I just want to unload them.
Okay.
So I can make money on them and
buy more Pez, obviously.
buy more Pez, definitely.
Okay.
More rare ones.
I'm definitely interested in these Pez dispensers. I mean, there's a huge community out there of people who collect these things online. My only problem is that there's so many people out there buying and selling these things already that I need to get them really cheap.
Last but definitely not least, check out this showstopper. The episode wraps up with a seller pitching a Sharps 1874 Buffalo rifle with a hefty price tag of $37,000. This piece isn't just a gun, it's a slice of the American West, famed for its robustness and accuracy. Despite its historical allure, the expert appraisal pegs it much lower, sparking a tough negotiation. What an exhilarating ride through history and high stakes this episode has been, from antique firearms to nostalgic collectibles.
Quite frankly, guns have stayed flat or gone down over the past few years. It's up to you, but I really can't pay more than $6 grand.
I guess I'm going to get to shoot it some more.
Okay?
Thank you.
Have a good one.
I'll just go back and shoot the gun some more. I've got a few years that my shoulder will hold up.
Can you believe this? Right out of the gate, Peggy, who just wanted to ditch a spider brooch she wasn't fond of, is floored when Rick identifies it as a creation by the legendary Peter Fabergé. Known for his exquisite jewelry made for the Russian imperial court, this brooch is decked out with diamonds, sapphires, and rubies, marking it as an artifact of immense historical and monetary worth. And just when you think it can't get any wilder, stick around.
I found this, I was cleaning out some drawers and stuff. My mother gave it to me years ago, and I was wanting to find out how much it was worth.
This thing looks crazy. What is it?
It's a Black Widow.
Is it poisonous?
I just came to the pawn shop today to try to sell my grandmother's brooch that was given to me years ago.
The plot thickens. After the jaw-dropping reveal of the brooch's royal heritage as a pre-revolution Russian imperial piece, Peggy, who initially hoped for just a couple $1,000s, is stunned when Rick slides a $15,000 offer across the table. Despite her attempts to push it to $17,000, Rick holds firm at $15,000, stressing the rarity and the niche market for such an item. But wait, there's more excitement just around the corner.
All right, I'll cut to the chase. I'll give you $15,000 for it.
Oh my God, you gotta be me.
No, I'm not. This is stuff you do not see every day.
How about 17? A man that's willing to pay 15 will definitely pay 17
No,
for
he
that.
won't. I mean,
All right,
literally.
how about 16?
I will give you 15. That's more than a fair offer on this.
You're not gonna want to miss this. A customer walks in with a 16th century ceremonial katana, eyeing a cool $10,000. Following an expert's confirmation of its authenticity and substantial historical significance, Rick offers a cool $6,000, balancing its value with the shop's ability to resell it. The deal settles at $6,000, satisfying the seller who acknowledges the fairness of the deal. But keep your eyes peeled, because what's coming up next is even more intriguing.
$200 for each one. That's $2,400 for the whole batch. How about that? Now that's a deal. Let's make a deal.
That is a heck of a deal. It really, really is.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But I sort of have a conscience, and they're worth more than that. They really are.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I mean, these two right here, I could probably get $600-700 a piece out of.
Really?
I'd give you $4,000 for the lot. That is more of a fair price. It really is.
Here comes a curveball. A seller wants to offload a batch of low-grade Morgan silver dollars, originally shooting for $2,400 for the whole set. Rick, spotting their rarity and the quirky collector interest in such low grades, ups the ante to $4,000, arguing it's a fairer price given the current collector buzz around these oddities. Gear up, because the next item is a piece of sports history that's really something.
There's not one chip in the enamel that I can see. It's a good thing it's from the Cubs, too, because if you get something from the Yankees, they're always going to the World Series. It's not quite as big a deal. It really does mark the end of an era. We're talking October 1929. That was the height of the Roaring 20s. Literally a few weeks after this pin was given out, the stock market crashes. The whole world went crashing down.
Now for a bit of sports glory, Tom brings in a 1929 Chicago Cubs World Series press pin, aiming for $1,000. Rick, recognizing its scarcity and the quick turnover potential, sweetens the deal to $1,200, emphasizing fair play in transactions involving such coveted collectibles. But don't go anywhere. There's more historical dazzle on the way.
Today is your lucky day. You have doubled your money on these. I will give you $2,000.
Nice. Great. I'll take it.
All right. Sounds good to me. Meet my guys over there. They'll play you, okay?
Great. Thank you.
Have a good day.
I've been driving for a couple hours now, and with no one to bug me, it has been the best. Just crossed into Utah, and I pulled into a little town named Hurricane to look for some food. What do we have here?
Imagine accidentally scoring historical gold. A customer who mistakenly bought Napoleonic-era medals at an auction for $1,000 gets the surprise of his life when Rick offers $2,000, citing their pristine condition and rich historical value, effectively doubling the buyer's investment. Next up, we've got an unexpected discovery in a quaint town that's sure to knock your socks off.
1,500?
Come on, you can do better than that. 17.
I'll go 16.
1650.
All right, 1650.
All right, let's go write it up.
Usually I say that.
Next up, feast your eyes on this gem. In a little-known Utah town, Rick stumbles upon a massively underpriced samurai helmet in an antique shop, tagged at just $300. After schooling the owner about its true potential retail of around $2,500, they settle on $1,650. Rick's expertise shines, making it a win for both parties. And believe it or not, the parade of surprises isn't over yet. Stay tuned for more jaw-dropping finds.
Be honest with you, man, they're worth a lot more than that. Yeah, okay. they are worth more than that. Me and my big mouth, but how about this? I give you $500 a piece for them.
That works for me. Well, I appreciate you being honest with me.
Sounds good, man. Let's
Sounds
go right
good.
it up.
I couldn't believe they were worth that much money. I got $1,000 in my pocket, and I'm a happy man.
Introduction of the pink 1969 rear loader beach bomb. Get ready for a showstopper. Rick's customer introduces a rare Hot Wheel, the pink 1969 rear loader beach bomb, known as the holy grail of Hot Wheels. The seller explains that he's owned it for 15 years and considers selling it to fund his daughter's upcoming wedding. It's not every day you see something this cool roll into the shop. Up next, let's see what the expert has to say.
The rarest Hot Wheel in the world.
Is that what I think it is?
The pink 1969 rear load beach bomb.
That's the holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it?
It sure is. It's in mint condition. These are the original surfboards that go with it.
Yeah, that was a ragtop Volkswagen, Volkswagen Transporter. We call it a bus, but technically it's a transporter.
Just when you thought the stakes couldn't get higher, an expert is called to assess the rare Hot Wheel. He confirms its authenticity and rarity, explaining why it's so valuable, never sold to the public, and highly sought after by collectors. Hold your horses, because the bargaining that's about to go down is a real nail-biter.
This was never for sale to the public. That's why it's so valuable.
Okay. Hot Wheels was one of the greatest toys to come out in the late 60s, and they're still popular today. The fact that only a few of these were produced but never sent out to the public makes it incredibly rare. And being a Volkswagen bus, it's got a dual collector base. I have no idea what this is worth, but I know it's not going to be cheap.
Negotiation for the Pink Beach Bomb. Buckle up for this negotiation roller coaster. The seller asks for $150,000 for the Hot Wheel, citing its rarity and condition. After an expert evaluation, the value is pegged at about $100,000. Rick and the seller negotiate, but fail to reach an agreement, and the seller decides not to sell. Next up, another treasure makes its way into the shop. Get ready to be amazed.
It was over. They were fast, they had these Spectre Flame paint jobs. It was never the same. And usually in the Hot Wheel collecting world, pink always means dollar signs.
Okay.
And there's only, I believe, 2 pinks known, and one is a prototype, and the other one was an early production.
Okay.
Do you mind if I take a closer
Go
look?
ahead, look at
and
it.
we'll see what we have.
Brace yourself for a blast from the past. Another customer presents a highly valuable comic book, Amazing Fantasy #15, which features the first appearance of Spider-Man. He aims to sell it for $16,000, highlighting its significance and rarity. The expert's opinion is up next, and it's a doozy.
Some of these two are just raw. It's just not cleaned up like it is in the later ones, and also the knockoffs. Everything looks 100% correct.
Okay. So what do you think it's worth?
These were like 60 cents back in the 60s, and now they're still under $1. There's some heavy hitters in the Hot Wheel world that would jump on a prototype like this. This would be easily $100,000 for this car.
You'll want to sit down for this one. A comic book expert evaluates the condition of Amazing Fantasy #15 and grades it much lower than expected, estimating its value around $6,000 to $7,000, far less than the seller hoped. The upcoming negotiation is tense, filled with twists and turns you won't want to miss.
Oh, you have one of the holy grails of comic books. Where did you get this?
My brother and I, about 20 years ago, we bought a collection of comic books, and this was just in there.
That's amazing. Oh, you're like the guy who buys the Andy Warhol at a garage sale.
Yeah, pretty much.
The tension is palpable in this epic haggle. Negotiations for the comic book ensue, with Rick offering $7,000 while the seller lowers his asking price to $13,000, then to $10,000. They fail to agree on the price, and the sale does not go through. But hold on, there's more. Next, we dive into the world of vintage bicycles.
Oh, I didn't feel like holding her anymore.
I'm here at the pawn shop today, and I'm trying to sell my really cool album collection. I have 12 records in my collection. I acquired these albums over years, but also my grandpa gave me some of those in his estate. I'm looking to get $500 for my vintage record collection.
Beetlejuice, now this is cool. One of the biggest movies I remember as a kid.
Just when you think you've seen it all, vintage bikes cruise into the scene. A collector brings in 2 vintage Murray bicycles, hoping to sell them for $8,500 combined. He describes their history and condition, noting one is a rare, never-ridden model from 1969. An expert is about to weigh in, and you're going to want to hear this.
Pinky, tell him. He's gonna eat his words on that. Could you do $250 for this collection?
Nah, dude, you're breaking my heart. How about $480?
Chum, I told you to get somebody down here to look at the records. I know I can make money if you're willing to sell them for $345. I know I can make money at that. It's all 100% you, buddy. And Pinky's getting really excited. I know she wants these albums.
Prepare to be enlightened by the expert's verdict. An expert examines the bicycles, confirming their originality and rarity. He values the bike significantly lower than the owner's asking price, suggesting a combined value closer to $4,200. Don't go anywhere. The negotiations are about to get spicy.
Because they're not hard or cracky. That's what you want to see. Everything checks out. Everything's 100% original on both of them.
All right, it's a big question, man. What do you think they're worth?
Well, that bike there, about $1,200.
Gear up for a clash of expectations in this negotiation showdown. The negotiation for the bicycles falls through as the seller's expectations are much higher than the offer made by Rick based on the expert's valuation. The seller decides not to sell, believing the offer undervalues the rarity and condition of the bikes. But wait, there's more excitement to come in the next episode. Stay tuned.
Looks like we're not gonna make a deal.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you.
Guess I won't be riding the bike today.
They definitely made a mistake today. They'll never find another one like that in the same condition. Their loss.